You still warming up, my guy? Okay, one more. You sure still one more? You happy with that? You good? No? Okay. Don't put a number on it. Let me know after. All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. This is going to be the first stream of a lesson to kind of see how I kind of interact from client to client, player to player, what's different, what's the same. We're going to break it down again. Okay, so I want the lower half to snap, but we're going to hold that. I want us going through, give me like a 1 second hold. I feel the tension grow. It doesn't have to be a big move, just an efficient move. But the lower half snap, hold, keep trying to grow that hip out. Do we feel our hips turn first and then upper half release? Okay. Let our hips take us as far as they're willing to take us before we have to use any of our upper half. Okay. Push this back. Just there we go. Get the max tension from there. Nice. Push the knob of the bat to the catcher. Just there we go. So our foot, if it needs to, we can bring that up just a skosh. Remember, from here up doesn't change. It does that motion every single time. Now it's our lower half's job to get us set up to there. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to doing a good job, let the tension go, but we need to get here, then there. Okay. So if this is doing this snapping when I'm here, my hips aren't fully rotated. In this, when I get going, because it's a whole body go, right? It's a full send. We're committed to the swing. It's a full send. So I'm going to go hit, finish, then release this in this drill. Still going to fall back to here and everything. Does that make sense? Remember, it's more important to feel the tension grow than to have like a giant body movement forward. Push the hips back a skosh. There it is. Keep the knob right. Beautiful. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. Exact. Pause. Let's see if we can land. Push the hips back a skosh. A little bit more. Push the knees back. There. Let's see if we can look to land there. Because we're looking to go straight from foot plant to max tension, right? So if we can, if there's any other wiggle in there, that's going to add time before we can pull that trigger to go. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's look to see if we can land straight to there, max tension, snap. Atta baby. And if we need to stride a little less, then that's totally okay. More important to get the stretch and keep the stretch from the knee to the groin than it is to get our body closer to the pitch. Beautiful. Yep. Nice. Once this has happened, because we're doing a great job now of leg snap, still hold, and then we're going woof, okay? But our action is woof instead of woof. We have to make sure that this hips continues to grow. You're doing it when you're going leg snap, it's growing. We're not standing up, but it's from here into the swing is when we're, okay, leave the knob right there. Yeah, push the hip, pause. We're gonna slightly push these guys out. There it is, whenever you're ready. Yeah. Weird feeling. Now weird just means, okay, different means we're not used to it. We're trying to change what we're used to. We have to identify, is this good weird or bad weird? Can we see and feel how this can be a positive movement in our swing? Or is it, do you feel like this is decelerating, not good? Or are we still not sure yet? Gotta kind of need a couple to figure it out. Couple more, no worries. Feel versus real is always going to be different, okay? But if we can make those connections and be able to say, I know this is what I feel, but this is what's really happening. If we can make those connect, boom, that's when it's good to go. Okay, pause there. All right, now start rotating to max tension. There we go. Sorry, fudge. Atta baby. Now leg snap, pause. Yep, and we're whenever you're ready. Atta baby. Yep, so pause, push the hips back. There we go. We need to get to max tension from back here. All right, now let the leg snap, and I'm gonna try to keep that. Yep, now whenever you're ready. What made it to where we didn't have the beautiful snap result? The kind of just one thing kind of leaked just a little bit. Yep, and so that's just what happens when we have like, when we're blowing the air into the balloon, and there's that tension. We just have the smallest leak. You don't get that clean snap pop when you pop the balloon, but you still get something, right? So what this is gonna do, our goal is to not allow the bat to dictate our swing. Exact same drill. They're little tiny muscles. When we use heavier bats, they're not strong enough to go against the heaviness of the bat. So we just naturally fall into the correct order. So here's a little drill, a little tough. What didn't we do there? Okay. And then we let the leg kind of snap, but then we went straight from here to go. We didn't let our hips take us there and then extend. With a heavier bat, that's a harder task. And so that's one thing what's going to happen here with a heavier bat is we do have to use our big muscles to get everything through. Our little tiny muscles that are normally our fiery muscles, we don't want those little tiny muscles firing, trying to correct course. We want the big muscles because that's what we're trying to hit with. We want them kind of taking over. So this is kind of one of those where we're telling the little tiny muscles, there we go. Telling those little tiny muscles, atta baby, dude, hey, be quiet. We're going to let the big muscles talk right now. I bet pause. There, good correction. Keep that bat knob pointing at the catcher. Atta baby. Keep trying to drive those hips. Keep trying to drive those hips. Yes. If we were to have 3 parking spaces, one on our, if you're a righty, left butt cheek, we have left front hip, right front hip. 3 parking spaces. We have 2 cars though. 1 empty spot back here on the left buttock. We got 2 cars on the hips. Okay, what we're trying to do is rotate and create this resistance within. We can't go out this way. Woo. So to create resistance to rotate within, like I was saying, we have these 2 cars. I'm trying to take this hip, go back, and I'm trying to have this hip replace where this front hip was, if that makes sense. So I'm here. I don't want to grow this way. I want to go out here. I want my back hip to replace where my front hip was. Okay. So I have 2 cars parked here. This car has to move into the open space before this car can move over here. So this front hip has to clear out before this back hip can come through. Pause right there. There it is. And we gotta let me push your hip back. We gotta keep right there. There you go. Turn that front knee. Turn the front knee. There it is. Snap. Keep. Yep. There it is. How did that feel? Compare. Better. Okay. When do we adjust our plane though? So when does that happen? When does plane become, when do we make our say this is our, yep. So is that before or after foot plant? So we should have our shoulder plane established and committed now. So if that's the case, we need to know when we have to be focusing on shoulder plane, right? So that's when we need to focus on it. It's like you said, we're not trying to change it in the middle of the swing. That's how we de-accelerate our bat. It's a leg snap, but we're not finishing the rotation, okay? So we're just doing that to set up for that, because otherwise we can't do that with the foot still in the ground. So, and I don't want us practicing feeling, we don't want to feel us up on our toes, okay? That's the exact opposite feeling that we're trying to get. Pause. You keep standing up. Send the hips back just a skosh and just turn the front knee. There it is. Hi, baby. Whenever you're ready. There it is. How'd that feel? It's up to you if it's a good one. Not the result, but the process. Tell me if the process was a good one. Imagine like our upper half being like a roller coaster, okay? We're going to kind of like, whoops. Kind of like, have you ever been on the reverse one at Six Flags here? And you know when you're like, woo, woo, and then you're going back and it's like click, 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 and you're kind of just like sitting there, and then just something gets released and all of a sudden, woo, right? Same deal here, okay? So that click, 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 that's gonna be our tension, okay? So we're gonna get everything going. You're doing a great job, leg snap. We're holding the tension up here, and then right now we're just not having a clean cut and woof. Exactly, it's not a reactionary swing right now. And remember, it's all go, all at once. The entire body all in sync whenever you're ready, whenever you're ready. Yeah! Well, ladies and gentlemen, you won't be able to really see, but same everything, okay? Let's see if we can control our movement. Let's see, is the bat causing us to move, or are we causing the bat? All right, so we're gonna look, that's a light, go ahead. That's a light wiffle ball bat. We got wiffle balls in here. We're doing the same exact drill, same exact motion, okay? When we use heavy bat, we kind of tell those weaker, smaller muscles to be quiet and kind of let the big muscles talk. Well, now it's the chance for the little muscle up. Let's see what they got to say. Are they having us move properly? Pause. Send that right back hip back. We're trying to keep this angle the entire time. We're not trying to lose that. We're trying to keep. So what I mean by that is if I'm here and I go to rotate, I want the same amount of space. I don't want to change that angle, okay? And right now we are. That's what I've been doing with the PVC. I'm just gonna keep, yeah. So that's all I've been doing with the PVC. That's what I've been looking to do, is just keep that hip there, because that helps build the tension. Look at, yep. What do we feel? If we don't have a snap, then our swing isn't reactionary. Go ahead. If our swing isn't reactionary, then we're having to tell each individual muscle when to swing. When we do that, we're not able to react fast enough to when someone starts throwing something over like 85, 88. You start struggling. Unless you're super athletic, then you can kind of get away with it. Yep. Get some max tension. So we're going to leave this right here. Leg snap. You see what I'm talking about? Do you feel that in here? Now try. Okay, so that's what I was saying, that our upper half wasn't holding that tension. That's where, here is where we were losing that tension in our kinetic chain, was right in here. What feeling was different there? When was it different? Give me both of them. What was different about the feeling? Okay.
When I released, like before, I was like more like wrapping my whole body around instead of like letting like this bat knob hinge here.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying there's levels to this. Okay. Do you feel like you had the same amount of tension? Did you have the same feeling as prior? So did we have the feeling when we went to fire? All right, so if we don't have the feeling, we don't fire. We fight for that feeling. Pause. So I'm gonna leave. We're gonna hold this here. Leg snap. There. Feel that crunch back in here, okay? Hide those hands a little bit more whenever you're ready. That's why it's more like that bar stool that we've talked about. You're trying to get this leg to go that way. We're not trying to get this leg to come up. There you go. Now, the leg is gonna snap, but we're gonna hold the tension. There it is. Whenever you're ready. Oh, we're gonna send the hip. We're gonna go that. Yep, whenever you're ready now. Feel goods to me are something that we work on at the end of, we try and get at the end of every single practice, of every single lesson, just so that way we leave the cage not worrying about, we try and leave the cage not necessarily thinking about mechanic, but just trying to, did we feel good? How do we feel leaving that cage? And that's what we trying to make sure we have a good feeling leaving the cage. Have the hitters let me know when it was a feel good. I mean, there are times where the ball can crack off the bat, but something in their sequence didn't feel right. They just handle, their swing is so dang good that they were able to just keep the barrel on plane. And I just think the bat cracks, and I think it's really good, but it didn't feel right. So that's why I don't try and tell them when they're done. I try and let them say, we're building, and then a snap. Consistently trying to build tension. Feel good?